Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to study the 10th chapter from Business Laws and Ethics, that is Employees State Insurance Act 1948. So ESI Act 1948 is a social welfare legislation, and this provides protection to employees in cases of sickness, maternity, employment injury, disablement, death due to employment injury, etc. And this is administered by the Employees State Insurance Corporation. Now let's see the objective of the Act. So the main objective is to provide social security to employees as well as medical care and cash benefits. Also compensate employees during sickness, maternity and employment injury, and also providing financial assistance to dependents. Next topic is applicability of the Act. So this Act is applicable throughout India and it applies to factories, notified establishments, and generally applies where 10 or more employees are employed. That means it may vary by state to state, and this covers employees drawing wages within the prescribed wage limit. Now let's see some important definitions. The first one is appropriate government under section 2 subsection 1. So the central government for establishments under its control as well as the state governments for other establishments is known as the appropriate government. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is confinement. Under section 2 subsection 3, the labor resulting in birth of child, live or dead. The next topic is dependent. Under section 2(6)(a), so the family members depend on earnings of insured person. So the dependents include widow, the minor legitimate or the adopted son, the unmarried daughter, the widowed mother, and the dependent parents and relatives. The next term is employment injury. Section 2 subsection 8. The injury caused by accident or occupational disease as well as arising out of and during employment. These are known as the employment injury. Next one is employee under section 2 subsection 9. So the person employed for wages in factory or establishment, and this includes employees through contractor also. The next one is family under section 2 subsection 11. So family includes spouse, children, dependent parents and other prescribed relatives. The next term is factory under section 2 subsection 12. So the premises where manufacturing process is carried on with prescribed number of workers is known as a factory. The next term is immediate employer under section 2 subsection 13. So the contractor undertaking work on behalf of principal employer is known as the immediate employer. The next term is insured person. So insured persons under section 2 subsection 14 is that persons covered under ESI scheme and for whom contributions are payable. The next one is permanent partial disablement under section 215A. So the permanent reduction in earning capacity is known as permanent partial disablement, and the permanent total disablement means permanent incapacity for all work. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is principal employer under section 2 subsection 11. So this include owner, occupier, managing agent and person supervising the establishment. The next term is seasonal factory. So the factory working only during a particular seasons are known as seasonal factory. The next one is temporary disablement. The temporary loss of earning capacity due to employment injury is known as temporary disablement. Now let's move on to the next definition, that is wages under section 2 subsection 22. So wages includes all remuneration paid or payable in cash like basic pay, dearness allowance, overtime wages, and wages do not include employer contribution to pension or PF, then traveling allowance and gratuity. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is Employees State Insurance Corporation under section 3. So this is a body corporate established under the ESI Act and has perpetual succession and common seal. So now let's see the corporation or the constitution of corporation. The first one is under section 4. The corporation consists of representatives of central government, state government, employers, employees, medical profession, and parliament. The section 5 says that the members can hold office generally for 4 years. Section 6 deals with the eligibility and disqualification. So, a person may be disqualified if he has a declared unsound mind or adjudged as insolvent or convicted for moral turpitude. The next topic is regional boards under section 25. So, the corporation may appoint regional boards or local committee and regional and local medical benefit councils for the purpose of administration and implementation of the act at regional level. Now let's move on to the next topic, that are other bodies of the corporation. The first one is the standing committee. So the standing committee is an executive body of the corporation and administers the affairs of the ESIC. Then let's see the composition of the standing committee. The standing committee consists of a chairman who is appointed by the central government, and the representatives include the representatives from the central government, the state government, employers, employees, medical profession, and a director general of the ESIC. The next one is term of office under section 9. So the members of the standing committee generally hold the office for 4 years. So this is a term of office and they are eligible for reappointment. Next one is powers of standing committee. So the standing committee administrate the affairs of the Employee State Insurance Corporation as well as exercises powers delegated by the corporation, supervises implementation of the ESI Act, and manages financial and administrative matters. The next topic is meetings of corporation, standing committee, and medical benefit council. So the meetings are conducted according to the rules framed under the Act, and the chairman presides over the meetings, and the discussions are generally taken by majority vote. So now let's move on to the next topic, that is supersession. So the central government may supersede the corporation or standing committee if it fails to perform their duties. That means abuses the powers or personally defaults in administration, or during supersession the government appoints a person or body to perform function temporarily. The next topic is medical benefit council. The central government constitutes the medical benefit council, and it consists of director general of health services, medical commissioner of ESIC, and representatives of central government, state government, employers, employees, and medical profession. As we have already discussed, the term of office is of a period for 4 months. And now let's move on to the next topic, that is duties of medical council. So they advises corporation regarding the medical benefits, reviews the medical services, and suggests for the improvements. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is resignation under section 11. So a member may resign by giving written notice to the appropriate authority. The next topic is cessation of membership under section 12. So a member ceases to hold office if absent for prescribed meetings, becomes disqualified, resigns, or the term expires. The next topic is disqualification under section 13. So a person is disqualified if he is an insolvent, if he is declared as unsound mind, or convicted for offense involving moral turpitude. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is registration of employees. So every eligible employee must be registered under the ESI scheme, and an insurance number and identity card are provided. The next topic is Employee State Insurance Fund under section 26. All contributions and receipts are credited to the ESI fund, and the fund is administered by the ESI corporation. The next one is purpose for which the fund may be expended under section 28. So the fund may be used for payment of benefits or medical treatment, the administrative expenses, the establishment of hospitals and dispensaries, as well as the welfare measures under the Act. The next topic is known as contribution. So this is known as the amount paid by the employer and employees, as well as the rates prescribed by the government. The next topic is principal employer to pay contribution under section 40. So under section 40 subsection 1, the principal employer must pay employers and employees contribution. And under section 40 subsection 4, the employee contribution is recoverable only through wage deduction. The next topic is recovery from immediate employer under section 41. So the principal employer can recover contractor employee contribution from immediate employer. The next one is method of payment under section 43. So the contributions to be paid in prescribed manner and time is given in under section 43. The next topic is recovery of contributions. So section 45B tells about the arrears recoverable as land revenue, and 45C deals with the recovery through attachment, arrest and receiver appointment. The next topic is benefits under section 46 of ESI Act. So the sickness benefit, the maternity benefit, the disablement, dependence, medical benefit, as well as the funeral expenses are covered here. The next topic is bar against compensation under other laws. The employee cannot claim compensation under other laws for same employment injury. So this is what about bar against compensation under other laws. The next topic is medical benefits under section 56. So the medical treatment available to insured persons and families are known as the medical benefits. The next term is establishment of hospitals under section 59. So the ESI may establish hospitals and dispensaries. Benefits not assignable, that means under section 60, benefits cannot be transferred or attached. Benefits not to be combined, section 65. So similar benefits cannot be received simultaneously. The next topic is repayment of improper benefit under section 70. So wrongly received benefits must be repaid. The next topic is employer not to reduce wages under section 72. So the employer cannot reduce wages or benefits because of liability to pay ESI contribution. The next topic is employer not to dismiss employee during sickness under section 73. So the employee cannot dismiss or discharge or punish an employee during sickness benefit period or the maternity benefit period or temporary disablement period. The next topic is adjudication of dispute and claims under section 74. So the ESI courts decide disputes relating to the contribution, benefits and employer-employee disputes under the Act. The next topic is jurisdiction of civil court under section 75 subsection 3. So the civil courts cannot decide matters which are under the jurisdiction of the ESI Act. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is penal provisions under ESI Act 1948. First one is under section 84, the false statement. False claim is punishable with imprisonment or fine. Section 85 deals with failure to pay contribution. So the punishment for non-payment, non-submission of records and obstruction of inspectors comes under section 85. Then under section 85A is known as the enhanced punishment, that is higher punishment for repeat offences. Next one is under section 85B, that is recovery of damages or the power to recover damages. So the corporation may recover damages for delayed payment of contribution. The next section is 85C, the court orders. The court may order payment of dues. Next one is section 85D, presumption as to assets. So the court may presume ownership in certain cases. The next one is 85E, offences by companies. So the persons in charge held liable. And 85F deals with proof of official entries like the official records accepted as evidence. And 85G, opportunity before recovery, that is reasonable opportunity before imposing damages are recovered. Then 86, prosecution. So the complaint by authorized ESI officer is necessary. The next one is penal action under Negotiable Instruments Act. So section 138 deals with dishonor of check. So the dishonor of check for insufficient fund is punishable. That means the check bounced due to insufficient funds is punishable with imprisonment, fine or both. So the penal action under IPC sections 405, 406 and 409 will be discussed now. So the first one is section 405, that is criminal breach of trust, that is the dishonest misuse of entrusted property. Next one is section 406, that is punishment for criminal breach of trust, that is it may be imprisonment, fine or both. And under section 409, it is criminal breach by public servant or banker, that is stricter punishment by public servant, banker, agent or a merchant. So we are concluding today's chapter. Until next, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you.